Oh, good morning, all that good stuff. So today, as you can already tell from the chanting and the title screen here, I'm gonna show you guys a little bit of Skyrim. I've been playing a lot of Skyrim of late. I came on it, then left it, and came back again, and then the last time I came back, obviously I pushed through. So, we're gonna show a new game here. So, oh yeah, in between cutscenes, you'll usually see like a little character model. You could zoom in and out, and then they'll give you like little hints there at the bottom right, and then your level will always be in the top right. Usually, these hints will be random. The character models will be random. Sometimes they're on point with what you're trying to do in the game. Sometimes they're not. So basically, you're essentially a nobody in this game, or at least that's how it appears to be. A nobody prisoner that is about to get his head chomped. Chomped. So, chomped, like, not chomped, but chopped off. Chopped off by a big ass axe. So, this is how the game starts. Definitely different in comparison to Oblivion, even though Oblivion, kind of started the same way with the prisoner role. You weren't readily about to be executed like you are in Skyrim. So once you get to that place where they're about to.
You're finally awake. You were trying to cross the border, right? Walked right into that Imperial Ambush, same as us, and that thief over there.
Damn you Stormcloaks. Skyrim was fine until you came along.
Is we got captured by the Imperials being the overarching majority, while everyone else is minority. In Storm, we have the Stormcloaks, which are against the Imperials, and they are the true brothers and sisters of Skyrim, and they are the Nord race. Humans, like big strong humans, the Nords.
Ulfric, the Jarl of Windhelm? You're the leader of the rebellion. But if they've captured you...
So they've been trying to stage, the Stormcloaks have been trying to stage a rebellion, telling the Empire that basically, we don't want your help, get out of here. Some people, you'll notice in the game, some people support the Stormcloaks, saying like, yes, you're the rightful people of Skyrim, we don't want the Imperials here, we got it on our own. Other people are like, oh, but what about all the good things the Imperials do, all the food they bring in, all the, protection and safety they bring in, because, the Empire is a big thing that spans across far more than just, Skyrim and Cyrodiil. I think it also extends into Morrowind. So, you will come at a point in time in the story. Oh, she's been there the whole time? Oh, sorry, I just didn't notice her before when I first played this game, but...
I bet they had something to do with this.
But, in this game, you'll find a bunch of different wars happening at once. So while the Civil War is the big war between the Imperials and the Stormcloaks, you have, like, miniature wars, like, wars between, the Falmer and, the Dwemer being like the dwarves, and trying to figure out why they disappeared, and all their machines are still left behind, and how did their machines get so advanced and no one else has this advanced kind of machinery. You'll come across different things like why are the orcs hated so much, how does an orc tribe work, being like, interesting things like an orc tribe works being like there's only one true orc leader, and the orc leader mates with all, the women, so on and so forth, and that is their belief. The strongest must mate with all the women to create, the strongest possible, the strongest possible person.
Step towards the block when we call your name.
The other issue with that you can contend is, well, that would cause a lot of inbreeding, and that would be a lot of issues, so I don't know about that. top left, like you just saw there, auto saving feature that plays into the game often. I think the game usually has like at least 3 auto saves that you can use. Make sure you save often in this game too, because there are certain quests that you will miss out on if you do other quests before it, or you know, there are certain quests that you can't even do the first time around because you have to pick one or the other. Like if you pick Imperial or Stonecloak,
Who are you?
for some quests there are more than one way to get them done. Here are the different races. So we got Argonian. It gives you a little synopsis of what Argonian is. We got a Breton. We got a Dark Elf. Got a High Elf. Got an Imperial. Khajiit. That's what I was in this playthrough. Got a Nord. Got an Orc. Redguard. And a Wood Elf. Also known as a Bosmer. So, whatever you decide to pick, doesn't really matter. Let's say we pick Orc for whatever reason. So then, okay, you decide on Orc, so then you can say female or male. Let's say male in this case. You can mess with the presets that they give you if you want. Say we go with that preset. You can mess with the skin tone. You can mess with the weight. You can make him really skinny. You can make him really burly. You can mess with the complexion of his face, the dirt colors, scars, war paint color, his nose height, jaw. There's a lot. There's a lot of stuff. You could spend a whole hour and a half, maybe more, just doing all this stuff. You can mess with his hair, make him bald or whatever you would like. Facial hair color. So let's say I'm good with that. The unfortunate part is it's not, and let's just call him prisoner for the sake of the review. But the unfortunate part is that it's not really as enticing or as exciting as when you picked a different race in Oblivion. I felt like that made more of a difference, and they actually showed you, you know, statistically why it was better to pick one race over the other. In this one, this game, it doesn't really show you that, so that is unfortunate. That's unfortunate that, you know, it's like that. What you will come to find and know is in this game you are not just a prisoner, you are actually a Dragonborn. In other words, a Dovahkiin. Dragonborn being like, you can shout, you know, words of power just like dragons can. You know how dragons can shout and breathe fire and stuff like that. You can do similar things to that, except you are not a dragon. So that's why you would be considered Dragonborn. And it is foretold that a Dragonborn will kill and get rid of Alduin, the World Eater, which is this freakishly big dragon that is trying to destroy time and destroy the world. And you will find out over time how to get rid of him. You will find out over time, you know, what is your true purpose as Dragonborn. You know, who are the people that are for you, who are the people that are against you. You'll also find that you'll find older civilizations, or not civilizations, clans like the Blades, that although they worked with the Dragonborn in the past, they've become, you know, a lot smaller, and they want you to fight in the way they want you to fight. So they're kind of interfering with how the Dragonborn is supposed to conduct business, which is, you know, doing what feels right to him. So, and then you have, you know, the Greybeards, which try to teach you the way of the voice, how to use your power properly, and, you know, they want you to conduct business a certain way. So, in this game, you know, although your objective is the same no matter what, how you decide to go about that, just like in every Elder Scrolls game, what you decide to do, that's Alduin right there. What you decide to do prior to finishing that quest is entirely up to you. So you don't necessarily have to, you know, play the main quest right away. You could do a shit ton of side missions. There's a lot of factions. I highly recommend playing the Dark Brotherhood faction. So now it'll say started Unbound, and then it'll give you a little waypoint to follow him.
Jarl, what is that thing? Could the legends be true?
Legends don't burn down villages.
Oh, and usually when a place, you haven't been to it yet, but it is close by, you'll see the little symbol there. That's that just has a white outline to it. When it's full on white, that means you've been to it. You've been there before. So he's trying to kill us.
See the inn on the other side? Jump through the roof and keep going.
So there's your health in the bottom there. But yeah, like I was saying, you know, make sure you play, you know, the guilds and stuff. That's an easy way to get your equipment up, get some levels in, especially, you know, early on in the game, which I found to be kind of difficult, especially with like some of the monsters. Monsters being like, you know, some trolls. They got bears in this. They got vampires. They got werebears. They got werewolves. We got races like the Falmer, which used to be snow elves, but now they've, you know, they've downgraded into Falmer, which are these like weird Nosferatu looking creatures that Nosferatu looking creatures that, because they were enslaved and put, you know, underground, they've, you know, lost their whole shape. They look completely different now.
Into the keep! We're leaving! It's you and me, prisoner! Stay close!
So the game doesn't force you right away to make a permanent decision on whether you want to be with the Stormcloaks or Imperials, but eventually you do have to pick one or the other, or there is a special option to where you can actually decide that, you could actually decide that, I want to put this Civil War on hold until I get rid of Alduin. So I didn't even know that until like I had already made my decision. But those are some of the interesting things you get to do. There's also a lot of side quests in this game. Actually, not as many side quests. There was a lot more miscellaneous quests, which is a complaint of mine. I don't really like the fact that there were so many miscellaneous quests, and I don't really like how they handled it either, and I'll tell you what I mean. So when you go to the map here, so it'll say the world map. So here's your world map. You can find your current location, zoom in and out, and then you could go to your journal. It's your quest log. The only thing I don't like about the quest log is it doesn't separate in a nice UI way, saying this is side quest, this is story, this is from Dark Brotherhood, this is from that. It kind of just assumes that you remember and you know where you're going and what you're doing, and I just feel like they could have ordered it or shaped it in a nicer way to where you always know what quest that's from. And usually the miscellaneous quests are super vague. You're kind of like, it'll just say like find some equipment, like pretend none of this was here, it just says Unbound and find some equipment, and you're kind of like, well, what the fuck does that mean? Unfortunately, a lot of miscellaneous quests are actually hidden side quests that where you have to embark on them to even find out that it is a side quest. So that's a minor gripe of mine. So, and we got general stats here, got locations discovered, you could clear dungeons, you know, you could obviously wait around for a certain time frame to get something done. Like in the other one, you have something called standing stones. Standing stones allow you to get like a special gift. It was kind of like when you get blessings in Oblivion. They allow you to get like a special gift, a special, thing that you could use once a day. So there's like different one's for sneaking, one's for magic, you know, it depends on what you want to use. You can cook food in this game. You could read skill books to increase your different skills, you know, depending on what kind of build you're trying to make. I personally did like a battle mage thing, so I had, you know, this school of restoration, school of destruction. So I did a lot of that. I would use like a lot of one-handed swords, one-handed, you know, maces, and so on and so forth. You could own horses. You can own houses. Usually you won't be able to start owning houses until you've done enough for each Jarl. So the Jarls encompass every part of the 9 holds in Skyrim. The Jarls are considered, like, I guess if you want to say, to make it relatable to real life, like mayors. They're like mayors. So the mayor of each hold, you know, accounts for their own bounty upon you, you know, if you decide to steal shit or kill people. So if you go to a different hold, they won't count against you. Just a little tip there. Also, if you're into lycanthropy and you want to do some crazy shit and want to kill someone, you know, while you're a werewolf and then dip, you know, they won't think it's you. So that was just a little tidbit. But yeah, so if you do enough for the Jarl's people and, you know, that in that specific hold of Skyrim, then eventually they'll grant you to be Thane, and Thane allows you to skirt past some of the guards. You know, if you do something wrong, you could say, hey, I mean, yeah, I know I stole this, but come on, man, I'm a Thane. And it's like, you know, once or twice they're like, okay, well, we'll look the other way, but don't do that shit again. I always thought that was funny. The guards aren't as mean and persistent as they were in Oblivion, but pretty close. So then you could fight the undead. You could fight, you know, a bunch of different creatures. They got animals. You got some returning enemies in this game, like, you know, some of the undead, like, you know, skeletons. But then you have Draugr, which are unique to this game. You have dragons, obviously. We're in Oblivion. You got your different, you know, spells and magic. You get dragon souls from killing dragons. So when you kill a dragon, you absorb the soul into yourself. Words of power. Each dragon shout has 3 words of power. And as you learn those words of power, which you have to use a dragon soul to learn each word. So you could obtain it and then use the soul to make it stronger. So as you have all 3 words and you put dragon souls in all 3 words, it becomes its max potential. So you can get a ton of dragon shouts in this game. You could also, you know, improve armor, of course, improve weapons, mix poisons. I didn't really delve into that too much. You could harvest things. You can break out of jail. You can commit assaults and murders, steal horses. Your magic menu will always be here. Cool thing about it is you could actually favorite something, and when you favor it, it'll be right there. So now it's there.
Something for these bones.
Cool, right? So you can favor anything. So it could be the destruction, it could be restoration, it could be, you know, your power. So this is my specific power because I decided to be an orc. So that's in my favorites now. Well, not in my favorites because it's a power, but you can put things in there. So then you have your skills here. I'll go over this real quick. So your skills all go to 100 like normal. You'll go in here, and then as you level up your skill, and as you're leveling up in general, when you level up skills, it'll make your general level go up. Even if, because you don't get to pick a major or minor skill like you did in Oblivion. So just any skill, as long as you're using leveling up, usually you'll get a level up sooner or later. So, you know, there aren't any skills that'll cost you like 2 points per skill. They'll all cost you 1. Usually when it says like O of 2 or O of 3, that just means to make it stronger, but it doesn't necessarily mean you need 2 to purchase that. So as you're going, you'll kind of realize that, okay, well, they don't force you to make a choice right away on what you want to be, but it is advised that you have an idea, because if you spread your points too thin, you won't even get to some of the bigger or better movesets here. See, it'll say like required 70, required 50, you know, whatever it is. So there's two-handed, there's one-handed, there's archery. You know, they all have like their little skills that, you know, for some people it may be like that's useful. For others it's kind of like, I'll spend my skill elsewhere. So like, let's say you get into archery and it's like, oh, okay, you know, archery is pretty cool, but then you get to something like let's see, what's something in archery that you could say is not that useful. So you could say like recover twice as many arrows from dead bodies. It's like, okay, that's kind of useful, but you know, at some point in time that won't be as useful anymore. So you may be like, okay, well, I'm gonna skip that, and I'm into light armor, so I'm gonna, you know, put some stuff in light armor so I don't get hurt as easy. So it is, you know, kind of a chess game, balancing, you know, all your different skills and stuff like that. Then here's your magicka, your health, and your stamina. When you level up, it asks you whether you want to increase magicka, so that is how strong your magic is and how much you have. Increase your health, so how much damage you can take and how much health you have. And your stamina, which is more important, a little more important than I originally thought. I thought it was just your capacity to attack people, you know, how many times you could do it, how many times you can, you know, run, how much you could run without getting tired, but it's also for your carrying capacity, so keep that in mind.
One of these chests has some.
So now that I've done all that fucking talking, so usually, you know, whether it is armor or you know, weapon, it'll have the damage here, it'll have the weight in the middle, and then on the right hand side it'll have how much it's worth. Very simple, very easy. I like how they did that. On the bottom here, next to carry weight, see how it says 8 out of 300, so you could carry a lot more, and the gold's also there. It'll usually tell you, okay, plus 8 means it's better than whatever the hell you're holding. Now this is kind of different when you have enchanted weapons. Let's say you ran out of your enchantment ran out, you have to refill it, and maybe the next sword you pick up, it says it's better, but keep in mind that that doesn't mean it is better with the enchantment on, because your enchantment's off, it will only take the base value of what the weapon is.
Let's keep moving.
Oh yeah, you could also, you know, play like this, third person or first person. I only dabbled in third person a little bit. I preferred first person. You'll notice in a lot of these caves or keeps or inns or, you know, whatever you go into, or ancient ruins, you know, there'll be a lot of levers to pull, things to press. I will tell you one of the things to keep in mind though, if you're trying to get one of the trophies I didn't get, which is Oblivion Walker. So I'm using the fire here. Now his health's going down.
Let me see if I can get.
And you could always grab something from them. Say I wanted that. Say I wanted to put his stuff on. Say I want to drop that. Keep in mind the keys don't weigh anything either, so not really gonna get in trouble for that. So I'm wearing that stuff. So yeah, it's a lot of you know, little micromanaging, you know, to play this game. You could sheath it, you could bring it out to be ready. Some quests in this game are worth playing and they give you, you know, cool items. Some quests just really aren't. Like, I don't really like miscellaneous fetch quests. I feel like they're a waste of time, in my opinion. Okay, so my magicka's low, so now I can't cast anymore, but I can still attack because I have my little axe. So I can search. Now you'll have optional things in this game that on missions, I should say, that will allow you to get extra rewards if you know, conduct them properly. So that was the thing for stamina. Running this game, like I said. In this game, you could also get married. You couldn't get married in the other one before.
I cannot best.
Oh yeah, when you get like a critical hit, it'll zoom in and give you like a really cool cinematic.
These boys seemed a bit upset at how I've been entertaining their comrades.
Wait a second. Looks like there's something.
You pick locks in this game. I always advise picking locks because I feel like you get a lot of cool things, and you can pick, you know, pick locks to chests, you know, whatever it may be. Now keep in mind, to level something up, all like for destruction magic, all you have to do is just keep using it. After a while, you know, especially with this, you know, some of the magic stuff, it does require that you use it a shit ton. Keep in mind too, like it just leveled up there. It'll have some environments sometimes like that allow you to amplify your magic, or if you make a, you know, flame potion. See, I just got, you know, a little more on my level progress, you know, from using my one-handed there. But yeah, you can get married in this game. You can adopt in this game. You can adopt a child in this game. This game also is a beautiful game. As you can see, it definitely looks better than Oblivion. Pretty significantly so. Looks better than Oblivion. No disrespect to Oblivion, but you know, it was an older game. You know, it came out in like 06 or something like that. Yeah, there's also spiders in this game. I hate spiders in this game. Some of them are really big. Horrifying to look at. Can't believe the spiders are this goddamn big. Spiders, I think at some point you come in contact with, like, you know, these big ass insects. You have things that like look like real world animals, like a walrus, but they're called horkers, and they have like 3 pronged teeth, and they just look weird. Just look very weird. So here's a bear. As you're leveling up, if you're not leveling up properly, I am going to tell you, you will be wandering one day, you know, trying to do a quest, and a bear roads up on you, or a mountain lion, or whatever it is, and kills you in 5 hits. So please, please, please pick an armor type, whether you want to conjure the armor yourself, do light armor or heavy armor. Pick an armor type. Don't be like me and wait forever to decide what kind of armor you want to use, because you will pay for it very early in the game. So usually when you're heading to somewhere and it is nearby, the waypoint will be there without the little door thing on it like you see there. When it's, you know, right nearby, it'll just be clear like that. It'll be clear and the waypoint will become bigger. So then you settle out and in place. So there are tons of places to explore in this game. The map's always updated whenever you discover a new place, or so on and so forth. There are some unmarked quests in this game that are available to you as you go. Let me show you the world map real quick. Zoom out. As you go, see there's different holds. There's Windhelm, Whiterun, Morthal, Solitude, Dawnstar, Winterhold, a bunch of different areas. But yeah, back to what I was saying about the guilds. So the guilds is something, you know, you want to get into, especially if you have a specific build you're going for. If you're going for Mage's Guild, definitely go Mage's Guild. Well, if you're going for a mage, I mean, definitely go Mage's Guild. The Thieves Guild is very good. I highly recommend that one. Barge College sucks. It's like 5 quests and then it's over, and it's not even worth it, to be honest with you. Here's one of the standing stones I was talking about. So you could activate it, you could accept sign. You could always change your sign. You know, it's not set in stone. You could always change it whenever you want. You could swim in this game. Keep in mind, if you fall from too high, you will die and break your legs. But hey, if that's your thing, go for it. And you have like some returning enemies in this game too, like Spriggans. You have you don't have unicorns in this one, sadly. That was interesting seeing that in Oblivion. You'll have like random settlements you'll come upon. Remember, you could always.
I'm just a poor old woman, dear.
Some people they
No
just
need
talk
to
to you.
trouble
Some
yourself
people,
with me.
you know, will actually have dialogue.
It's so
Usually, the
nice
people
to
that have
have you
dialogue are
with
people that have quests. 9 times out of 10, they would go to town. Obviously, ask around, talk to people. They'll give you quests and stuff to do. And yeah, I mean, the only other thing I could really mention is keep in mind that Skyrim has a lot of things in it. Oh yeah, when you hear that little sound, that means the nerd's nearby. Keep in mind, Skyrim has a lot of things in it to detract you from your main quest. So much so to the point to where you may even forget what the hell the main quest was even about. Most people, I actually have heard some people that have played this game and they never even really play the main quest because they're not really as interested. And I understand, you know, main quest is interesting, but there are other quests that are far more interesting than the main quest, and you know, that's fair. And look, there's dogs. There's dogs. Look at Stump. Hey, Stump. But yeah, so
I heard Luke and Yanni.
very brief amount of this that I've shown. What I'm going to do now, real quick, is I'm gonna leave, and I'm gonna show you my guy real quick. What my guy ended up looking like and everything. I also kind of want to show you like how massive the maps get. So I ended up being level 44. I think level 50 was the cap, if I'm not mistaken. The game is very possible. It's very possible to platinum this game, but be very careful when you do the Daedric quests, because there's like, I think 15 of them. It is easy to miss out on some of the Daedric items, so if you want to get all the items, please look up a guide, because it's very easy to miss out. So here's what my guy ended up looking like. He looks amazing. I love him. This is Vikath, or Vikath, however you want to say it. So this is usually what it looks like when you have a home. Keep in mind, if you find something of value that you want to keep, never put it in any end table or wardrobe that's red that you don't own, because when you come back it will disappear. So only put it in stuff that's white or stuff that you own. So here's some of the things that I found, you know, during the course of the game. Keep in mind I have the DLCs. I'll make a different video to talk about the DLCs. These masks that you're seeing here, those masks are gotten from Dragon Priests. Don't be stupid and do what I did, where you kill a Dragon Priest and you ditch the mask and don't even remember where the hell you put it. So don't do that. Don't do that. So, you know, try to you know, hold on to your stuff, and you know, hold on to it until you at least get back to camp. It is always very important to have a companion with you. You can have any companion you want. In some cases you could have 2, like you saw that little spider guy with me. In some cases you could have 2, like a mini companion, but usually you have a companion with you. And this companion, let me see, where is my companion? Let me see if I go outside. Oh yeah, and this is how huge the maps it can be. Ridiculously big, ridiculous. trying to see where my companion is. And you can fast travel. As soon as you locate someplace, you can fast travel super easy. But your companions, you can always find companions almost anywhere. Some of them you can buy for hire, some of them you get from completing certain quest lines. Usually with a companion, they all have different abilities. Some of them conjurers, some of them, you know, do destruction magic only. Some of them are interested in only doing combat. I found, you know, some people in this game that if you talk to, you know, they can take you around in the carriage. Some people, if you talk to, you know, that are in a boat, they can take you from shore to shore. You know, those things are pretty useful when you need places to fast travel to. But yeah, companions, you could actually use them as a storage and to keep things, which I wish I would have known, because I would have gave it. I don't think I had a companion then. Anyways, I would have gave it to a companion to hold on to, so that, you know, I can just come back for it later and tell them, hey, I want to change. And your companion isn't set in stone either. You could always tell them, hey, go F off, I want a different companion, and you could easily do that. Easily. So the weather does change quite a bit depending on where you're at. You know, some places are really snowy, some places, you know, rain a lot and are really wet, some places are sunny. It's usually, you know, between the three. But yeah, more or less that's Skyrim. I mean, the only other thing I could really mention, if memory serves correct, the other thing I could really mention is there are, you know, some places that have dragons, and you could actually get, you know, your dragon, you know, words from there. And your dragon words, you know, like I said, make your shouts, you know, stronger and better, and what have you. So that's, like I said, that's more or less Skyrim. Tell me what you think about the video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time for when I actually talk about the DLC. Peace.